So here's the second fragrance that we're going to be taking a look at today for Cheapy Day. This is Bentley for Men, the original, the Eau de Toilette, where this whole line started. So today I'm going to be going over why, in my opinion, you absolutely need to pick this fragrance up. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs when you can wear it, and just everything you need to know about it. And yeah, I said that up front, got it out of the way right now. Every guy, I think, needs to at least pick this up and try it. Do you know why? Because this is only $26 on FragranceNet. $26, that's cheaper than I thought. The Intense is a bit more, but this one, $26 for a 100ml full presentation. I will link it down below. That will automatically apply the 37% off code so you can get it for that price. If you just go to FragranceNet and start searching around, a lot of times they'll only try to give you the 25%. Hit the link down below. You can shop through and pick up a bunch of stuff, 37% off, and get this one for an absolute steal. I think this is another one of the best bang for buck affordable fragrances out there. Let's go ahead and just go over it. So let's start off with how this one smells. Now, when you first spray it on up top, you get that booziness right away. So that's where it all started, but I'm going to keep referencing back to the Intense because a lot of people know that as well. Obviously this came first, but the Intense is known for being boozy and woody and stuff, and you get a good amount of that here. It opens up rich, a little bit spicy, woody, masculine, sexy. It has a little bit of like a creamy sweetness in the base, but not overpowering like maybe in the Intense. And it's also worth noting that there isn't an overabundance of smokiness in this original like the Intense. One of the main reasons people don't like Bentley for Men Intense, and why I always have at least one person saying that it's the worst fragrance ever. Yes, people actually think that. Not everyone likes that, and I'm very upfront about that when I speak about fragrances like that. I tell people, like, yo, this is not going to be for everyone. People still fall into that trap and then get mad at me when they don't like it. I give that warning every single time. Try to give you as much direction as you can, but ultimately you got to do with that as you please. It's not going to be for the faint of heart. But what I like about the Eau de Toilette is it is more for the faint of heart. And it makes sense. This is just the EDT. It's where it all started. Bentley for Men Intense is a more intense version of this one. So that's kind of how that pans out. We'll take a look at the note breakdown here because I do think it's quite interesting. Up top we have bay leaf, black pepper, and bergamot. Bergamot pretty much in everything, right? In the mid, we have rum, cinnamon, woody notes, and clary sage. And in the base, we have leather, benzoin, patchouli, and cedar. So the benzoin, that's what's giving off a bit of that kind of powdery sweetness like I was talking about. The rum gives off that nice liqueur, boozy juiciness that it opens up with. The cinnamon, that's adding to some spiciness. The leather is going to be kind of working its way more in the base of the fragrance and the dry down. And that gives off a nice, masculine balance along with the woods. The cedar wood is also giving a hint of a spiciness, but just a masculine base overall. You may get a bit of the black pepper up top lending to the spiciness, but I think it's more so the cinnamon which is pulling that off. As for the bergamot, I don't really pick up on that at all. Not saying that's non-existent, I'm just saying I don't smell it. Like, there's no bergamot here for me whatsoever. One thing that I also get and that I do really like is in the base a bit of patchouli, and that's also giving off a woodiness. And with some of the woods here in combination, you do get a tiny bit of smokiness, but again, it's not nearly to the extent of Bentley for Men Intense, which actually has an incense note, which is giving off all of that smoky, somewhat churchy smelling incense that people don't get along with. So essentially, if Bentley for Men Intense is just too much for you, maybe you want to like it, but it's just too much, check this one out. I highly encourage it. Again, it's more affordable than the Intense, but I think $10. I think that's somewhere around where the Intense floats, maybe a bit more. $26 for this. I mean, come on. I don't think that there are too many other deals out there as good as this one. The Rojas Man that I just covered a couple hours ago, like $35, $36 or something, that's a great deal, but that's still $10 more than this. Can you tell I'm mind blown by the price point of this one? It really is impressive to me because there aren't that many fragrances at all in this price range that are this good. And it gets even better when we go ahead and talk about the performance. Holy crap. This is out of hand. On my skin, longevity-wise, from an Eau de Toilette, $26 fragrance, like 7.5 hours on average, sometimes a bit more. Yeah, I'm not fibbing here. That's absolutely crazy. There are some designer fragrances that are $50, $60 that can't make it to that point. There are some fragrances probably more expensive than that maybe make it to 6 hours. This one is a quarter of the price of some of those and is performing better. That's wild. So the longevity definitely sticks around. I do find the projection to be a little bit softer, not like a skin scent, but at least softer in comparison to the intense version, which does have stronger projection. This one will be a bit more personal, which for me, I'm cool with. Again, the intense version is stronger in every way, so you kind of have to know that going into it before you sign up for it. It's going to be a stronger performer. It's going to be a woodier, more masculine, smokier, just harder fragrance to pull off. It's a true intense flanker. But I find that this one all around is very refined and very well done, very tasteful here. Definitely easier to pull off and will be a bit more suitable for younger guys out there. Again, teenagers and early college kids probably aren't going to like this one still, but if you do have a taste for mature fragrances or you are in your mid to upper 20s, I think you'll start to appreciate this one more. The quality is fantastic on this one. This is another reason why I love this fragrance, but another reason why I love Bentley fragrances in general is the quality is great at the price point that they're at, especially this one here. I mean, it is smooth. There's nothing about it that is synthetic. I've already sprayed this one up in the air a bunch. I can still smell it. It doesn't smell harsh or anything from opening to dry down. And that's something that you will get a lot of times, I would say most of the time, in fragrances of this price range, $25, $26. Most of the times, you will get something that is a bit unnatural, maybe a bit synthetic, a bit harsh. And that's just the reality. That's not me being a hater or a niche snob. Here's the thing, if I was a niche snob, I wouldn't be raving on about this. I wouldn't have fragrances like this, and I would be covering nothing but niche fragrances on this channel, which you guys know I don't. So I try to be very level-headed about this stuff. I try to, say it how I see it, and that's it here. I mean, there's nothing that is cheap smelling about this one. Now, can it stand up to a niche fragrance in terms of quality? Probably not, but it can definitely stand up against $50, $60, $70 fragrances out there, depending on what we're talking about. So yeah, I find this one all in all to be one of the best bang for your buck men's fragrances on the market. The compliment factor will hang up a few of you guys in terms of it not being as big of a powerhouse compliment getter like a Sauvage Blue fragrance. Something to keep in mind. Not going to be as attractive for the younger women out there. If you're a younger guy trying to impress younger women, probably not it. But again, if you are a bit older, a bit more mature, you want to be perceived as someone with wealth or power or authority. Seriously, that's how this stuff smells. Then go for this. And I think if you carry yourself in the right way and dress well, personal hygiene, I think you would be impressed how far this one goes in terms of compliments. So it definitely depends on the application, depends on the person, but I think for a lot of you, it could do very, very well, better than you think. But again, just to reiterate, not going to be a compliment getter like your typical blue fragrances, but I think most of you knew that going into it. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. That's my thoughts on Bentley for Men, just the original Eau de Toilette. I've been featuring it here and there, and I figured it was finally time for me to put out a full review. Now, if you've tried this one, let me know what you think down below. How do you like it compared to the Intense? How do you like it compared to the rest of the line? For me, it's basically tied up with Intense, and Absolute is also really good. Remember, I will link it down below. Hit that link to auto-apply the 37% off code so you can get it for an absolute steal. I think just about every guy should pick this stuff up and at least try it. If you don't like it, you're only out 26 bucks. If you do like it, that's going to be one of the best investments that you make. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.